Are you ready? Roll it!
Hi everybody, this is Tiffany. I am back for day 14 of the video blog challenge, and I just realized that, like, as of tomorrow, we're like halfway through 30 days. Oh my gosh. Like, I wouldn't have thought I would make it that long. Or I'm sure there's plenty of those that are out there doing the video blog that wouldn't have thought that they'd make it either. So, I don't know. Maybe tomorrow I'll do like a day 15 wedding dance or something. I don't know. We'll see. But today's why, since we are keeping with the wedding theme, is actually something that's a little new for me personally. I know a lot of other photographers do this, and it's something that I've pretty much just now started incorporating into my weddings, is why brides and grooms are now choosing to do what's called a first look. And what that is, I know the old tradition basically is, you know, the groom does not see the bride before the wedding because it's supposed to be bad luck and everything else. And I've never personally been married, so I don't know. But with the divorce rate at where it is, you know, in this day and age, and that's probably not a good thing to say right at the beginning of a video about weddings. But my point is that, you know, it kind of is what it is. So that to me is kind of out the door. But the reason that a lot of brides and grooms are starting to do what's called a first look, which basically means that before everybody shows up and before the wedding, and, you know, after the bride has gotten all ready, the bride and the groom actually get to have kind of a moment to themselves that's photographed, because everything's photographed, where they get to see each other, you know, have a few moments. It's just their own personal time. And, you know, originally being one of those people, like I said, never been married, but I was like, it's tradition. Why see the groom? Why see the bride before the wedding? And all the wonderful things that goes with that. But recently I was watching a workshop, and they were talking about the first look. And as I was watching it and really like listening to what the bride was saying about it, I started to change kind of my view about it, because, you know, I am all about like the personal moments of a wedding or of a relationship, life in general. Some things just are personal, and, you know, you've spent all this time and all this money and all this energy to plan this huge or small wedding for yourself and 100 plus of your closest and nearest and dearest. But, and like they expect to see, you know, that moment where you walk out and he's looking at you, and, you know, they're all rise, here comes the bride, and they play the march, and everybody's like, oh, and everything else. And that's all great. It is. And it's one of my favorite parts of the wedding. But with the first look, there's that moment where it's just that bride and groom. You know, like I saw a photographer do one. It was absolutely amazing because he had like the groom positioned like right over here, you know, and then he told him not to turn around until he told him to, and then the bride kind of walked out from behind, and then he told him to turn around. And when he did and he saw her, like, just the emotion and the expression on his face and on her face as they kind of, almost like the movies, you know, ran towards each other and embraced. And, you know, I'm all about my movies. I did a blog about that one like a few blogs ago. And, like, it was really emotional to watch. I didn't even know these people. But it was really emotional to watch because there was such a connection between the two of them, and they just had these moments where they were, you know, they were kind of talking to themselves, and the photographer just let them have that, you know. And of course they kind of, you know, my theory that, you know, it's the two of you with this third wheel snapping pictures, and that was kind of how it was. You know, they were together, they were in a moment before there was ever any posing or thought of posing or interrupting and wanting to have this look or that look or whatever. It was just the two of them together. You know, she wasn't concerned that her makeup might have come off because she cried standing, you know, at the altar, or there weren't 8 million relatives with their point and shoot cameras, you know, crowding around the photographer and around them trying to get the pictures. People, they weren't worried about, you know, are we taking too long because everybody's at the cocktail hour and we have to get back by a certain time frame, you know, or anything like that. None of the normal, I guess, concerns that can come up between a wedding and a reception, which is generally, I guess, traditionally where you would have taken those pictures with the bride and the groom and the wedding party and the parents and everybody else. All those people weren't there. You know, it was just them. And that was a very powerful thing to see. And so seeing that and hearing them talk about it, it completely changed the way that I feel about it. And it's now something that I am promoting to my brides, because I think that just that emotion of it was absolutely, like I've said it like 3 or 4 times, it was breathtaking. And to be able to capture that inspired. So that is my why for today, why I now believe that a first look is just as important as almost every other part of the wedding, because it gives you that time, you know, you and your groom, or you and your bride, however you want to look at it, where it's just the two of you, where there's no thoughts about anything else, there's no concerns about anything else, it's just the two of you together. And that's what a marriage is. See how I type that in? So that's my why for today. If you have any comments, concerns, questions, whys you want to know, whatever the case may be, by all means, I would name off all of my social media, but I've rambled too long and I've got to go get ready because I've got a wedding to shoot. So I will see you guys tomorrow when we have another wedding why, and until then, bye!